What was that?
Secrecy, mysteries and spirits from the Cold War await the Most Haunted team as we travel to Essex.
Whoa.
Hello, I'm Yvette Fielding, and this week I've brought my team to a place filled with ghosts, phantoms and secrets. Welcome to Most Haunted and to Kelvedon Hatch Nuclear Bunker.
Hidden in a cloistered wood lies a small, unimposing bungalow with a big secret. Deep underground lies a 3-floored bunker complex intended to provide safety for 600 people in the event of a nuclear strike. Built between 1952 and 1953, during the height of the Cold War, it was part of ROTOR, an urgent government building programme to improve Britain's air defence. The bunker lies 125 feet under the bungalow. Once inside, there is a 100-yard tunnel and 2 further floors situated under the adjacent hill. And it is here that will be the focus of our investigation.
The eeriness of this place only intensifies when you enter many of the rooms, so much so that some visitors often feel very uneasy. Many believe that they are being watched, their own fear preventing them from venturing further. A grey figure has been seen moving from room to room. Witnesses indicate that it appears to be the figure of an unusually tall elderly lady. Loud creaks and crashes are constantly heard at night, thought to be violent spirit activity from a nasty entity waiting to fill anyone who crosses its path with abject fear. The more time you spend down here, the more eerie the feeling. Many are said to have fled in fear at the apparition seen. Dark figures have been witnessed wandering around the sick bay, thought to be the sad departed, still tending to their daily duties. However, this isn't the scariest thing to have been seen down here. There is a negative entity here, some believe to be of a demonic source that engulfs unsuspecting people in a cloak of darkness. So frightening is this phantom and its actions, some people refuse to enter this area. If the stories are to be believed, the whole bunker is a hotbed of paranormal activity. The figure of an RAF officer roams, thought trapped, rerunning his daily duties. Poltergeist activity is rife. Unexplained mists and flashing lights are witnessed, accompanied by a strange growling and foul odour. A scientist who is very unwelcoming to any guests that enter his domain is reported to haunt the site after his untimely death. Some believe many of the hauntings are the work of an evil presence which roams the bunker. So, will we meet this evil? We have one night to find out.
What more can Most Haunted's resident historian Leslie Smith uncover regarding the secrets that lie dormant in this bunker?
From 1952, this bunker started to be developed along with others across the UK. All of those films you've seen about spies and double agents, it is a dreadful reality when you move from room to room to realise the weight of the knowledge that these people had upon them, held very firmly under the Official Secrets Act. And many believe, because it's only 25 miles from London, that the Prime Minister himself would have come here, along with many other civil servants, and those of special skill. There's even a BBC radio station here, and a last attempt to try to communicate with those who may have survived the appalling reality that was the Russian nuclear threat. Interestingly, after this place was decommissioned in 1990, it was sold back at a reasonable price, we understand, to the original farming family who owned this land that had been taken from them under compulsory purchase all those years earlier. There are a number of stories attached to this extraordinary building. The deeper you go into the bunker, right deep down, there is a dark presence there, an evil presence, that rises up and makes the area black. So even if the lights are on, people can't see and stumble about, it's said. We should also bear in mind that some of the dark figures seen flitting around, or that terrible sense of oppression or distress, or certainly the feeling that you're being watched round every corner in the darkness, may go back much further than this bunker. For this county of Essex has an extraordinary history.
With the bunker seemingly host to a multitude of spirits, what can parapsychologist Dr. Kieran O'Keefe, who has in the past conducted his own separate investigation into the bunker, offer in terms of scientific explanation for the alleged supernatural activity?
The nuclear bunker, absolutely fantastic. We have investigated somewhere similar to this, and we did get a lot of activity. How do you think we're going to do tonight?
I think what we've got to be aware of is this is a much, much bigger bunker than the previous one we investigated.
Also, we don't know what was here before the nuclear bunker was built. So again, maybe some of the dark shadows, the presence, the evil presence that we're picking up on is something to do with what was here before. Maybe there was a building here before we don't know anything about.
Yeah, it's a very good point. We're always talking about layers when we come to location. And you're right, we don't have enough information about what was here before. But also, I don't know if we have sufficient information about the people that would have come and gone in this particular bunker. Like I said, if somebody sees a dark shadow and they immediately say, oh, I think it's a doctor. Is it a doctor? Is it a communications person, a secretary, politician? Who was it that's actually there?
There's also a lot of poltergeist activity reported here. When you came to investigate this place before, did you experience any poltergeist activity?
To be honest, no. Although I'm the worst person to ask that.
Yes.
You know, there's this idea that, you know, even though I am a skeptic, people say I'm too close-minded and therefore things won't happen to me. Again, the focus of the investigation for me was down here. A lot of the other stories, I have to be a little bit sceptical about them because it's a renowned place for haunting experiences and poltergeist experiences. But a lot of that has come from frequent visits from various groups, but also public events. And I wonder how much of the stories that we're hearing are each subsequent group building on the previous group's experience. So if one person experiences something they think is poltergeist activity, then another group comes in and they go, yeah, we got the same, yeah, we got the same. And it's just kind of building into this great story.
Well, already I can say one of our crew members, Stuart, has actually seen something, or a person in uniform telling him to get out. Now, there's nobody in uniform that I'm aware of, or if you're aware of. So already in the daylight, we've already had something you're already describing where people are seeing things and experiencing things. But I totally believe Stuart. I mean, he's quite shaken up by it.
And this is in do you know which particular area? In the corridor area? Or?
I think it was further down towards the end of the corridor.
Because it's also quite significant where I think he had the experience. It's not on one of the upper floors where you have some of the exhibitions. And all right, I don't think you see any mannequins with uniforms that could be mistaken, you know, for a figure. But still, if you're in some of the upper areas, we have to be careful tonight as a team that we don't misinterpret seeing a mannequin out the corner of our eye as a moving figure.
No, because we don't like mannequins that move, do we, Kieran? They make you very upset, make you jump.
I just don't like mannequins.
I know you don't.
Whether they're moving or not, I just don't like them.
OK, so that'll be you going off on your own then, in the room full of mannequins.
I won't be in there by myself.
Shadows from the past, an air of secrecy, and cold and deadly phantoms. Kelvedon Hatch has much to offer, but will we meet any of its ghostly residents tonight?
Did you hear that?
that?
I'm really freaked out.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
To the left of you, there was...
No.
Welcome back to Most Haunted. This innocuous bungalow set deep in the Essex woods hides a relic of the Cold War, a subterranean village known as Kelvedon Hatch Nuclear Bunker, a place reputed to be rife with paranormal activity. I'm hoping that medium Patrick Matthews, overseen by the ever-sceptical eye of Dr. Kieran O'Keefe, can contact some of the spirits that are said to remain here as we begin our lit walk-around in the sick bay.
I have a gentleman here, and it's interesting. What he's telling me, we're talking about what this is now or what it was made for, but we got to step back a little bit. And what I'm getting is he's connected, owner of the land, connected with the land, basically, of when this was to occur, okay? And I don't think he was happy. Obviously, where we are, a lot of land, a lot of commotion, if you will. And he wasn't happy at first that this was all occurring.
Right.
And he's like fighting. He's going like this. I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it.
So what time period are you talking about here?
When did this start? I mean, it was I would say 19, give or take 50.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe a little before that, because there was talk about, he pulls me, so it's recent. I got to see if I'm getting this right, because, slow down, sir. Was it worth the sacrifice to save others and disrespect those who have already passed?
Right. And you
because,
said...
I'm sorry, because he's saying, because I'm going with this, and he's saying about the digging, the discovery, and all of a sudden there were bodies discovered here.
Oh, okay.
And it was almost like a hush-hush type thing, or like a secret thing, or not talked about, he says, because he's going like this, like shh.
Right.
It wasn't so when they were building or putting this all together, there were burial grounds or something to that, burial of what? Either mass graves, war site of some type of battle that the people were here. They must have discovered bones.
Kathy, you hearing something?
It was...
Yes, I'm sorry, there's lots of, I don't know if you can hear it.
Whining.
There's lots of talking, like
whispering,
loads of
or?
people in the background.
No, I can't.
Can you hear that, Cal? You went outside, it's like that.
I went outside because I thought someone was talking.
Oh, right,
It
okay.
was when Patrick was talking about the deeds and the whole sort of this whole builder thing. It seemed like I was talking out there. I went and there's no one there, and I came back and you were saying.
I was like, I was doing this to Kieran.
But it seems to be round here. It's weird. It's there, but you can't pinpoint exactly where it's from.
He said you will.
Oh, okay.
You will. I'm not talking with this gentleman yet, okay? It's almost like he's saying, following me, follow me.
This is the
We
same
will.
gentleman from upstairs?
No.
Oh, this is somebody different?
Somebody
So when
totally
you said he
different.
wanted to come downstairs,
Right.
this is a completely different person?
Correct. All of a sudden, this gentleman came to me, and he's screaming, and his face, like, like that. And it's like it's melted, like it was burnt.
Right.
And I hear like, psst, psst.
Okay.
And don't be surprised if we may not hear that later on too, but he's coming to me to tell me that he was burnt badly. But there's still, see, we're in this building, but they're still, again, talking about the history, or there was something that was uncovered that's more below.
Right.
Because right now they're showing me digging and digging. So I'm taking when they built this building or whatever, this area, while they were digging, there must have been bodies found. Because I see digging, I see them holding up a bone.
Right.
And the bones that they found, the people, the spirits, were not pleased with the way they were handled. Okay?
Right.
That's why strange things occur. I had a person waving like this at me.
Okay.
So that's why there's been sightings and things like that.
I have to say, I hope, Patrick, that we're going to get more detail about the first spirit upstairs, because there's this strength that you're picking up over there, this on-running story about there's a burial ground or there's something down at the bones. You're digging that up. But I'd like to get a little bit more about it later on, simply because the guy upstairs is upset about his land. It's almost like his land that we're dealing with.
Right.
The problem I have with it is, if the government knew this was burial land, if they knew that there were bones and stuff down here, they would have just moved half a mile to another area. This guy owned the land. Did he sell the land to them, or... Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of conflicting points that I'm getting.
When you start talking about someone, that's good. And we don't have to be upstairs, downstairs. When you talk about him, I say, come to me if you can, if you want to communicate. He's here.
Right.
Let's answer some questions.
Did he sell the land?
He said no. What? Forced. So did he want to? Yes. No. Did he want to? No. Did he have to? Yes. What's that? I don't want to make a correction, but he keeps saying, it's almost, they took it, but he keeps saying, give it back, or gave it back. So, what do you mean you own it? Not to get confused here, he owned it, he didn't own it, he owned it.
I get that. A lot of, I'm sure Leslie will back me up on this, that the Ministry of Defence would come and take land from people during, war or whatever, and then when they'd finished using it, they would give it back, or they were supposed to give it back to the people. I'm right there, Leslie.
Right. They bought it on compulsory purchase and let them buy it back very cheaply. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
Right, okay.
Okay. Do you like this area? Is it good?
No, that's the thing. It's almost to the effect where, because what I'm seeing is almost a visual trail of bringing out the dead.
Right.
The bringing out the bodies, the carrying of the bodies out here.
You're right. Okay. Are there any spirits, any energy at the moment? I know you're picking up on residual energy, but is there any particular one person, or is there a feeling that you get here?
The residual, keep in mind, I'm actually talking with the spirits, and they're showing me these things too. And the person, we're going to have to find out about the screaming man.
Right.
Because he seems to be really setting himself forward as wanting again.
Any questions?
One thing we haven't asked is... here and maybe some of the other areas, is the phenomena. We've just been asking about spirits.
Right.
Do you get a sense of what sort of phenomena people might experience in this area? You mentioned about the bodies being gathered.
I'll tell you what, here's something. It's not only seeing it, Karen, it's temperature change, and it's almost like you can... This is going to sound weird because you have a long tunnel here, and all of a sudden you think, oh, half of it's one temperature, the other half is another. But what I'm getting is it's almost sliced in half, where your legs could be hot, cold, or the opposite.
Could Patrick's divining of the story about the chilling discovery of bones during the construction of the bunker provide a plausible explanation for the spiritual unrest here? I'm eager to switch to night vision. What more will we uncover in the darkness of this claustrophobic location?
Whoa! What the? Whoa! No.
With the CCTV cameras set up to monitor the night's investigation, I lead a team consisting of Kath, Leslie and Chris Burton to further explore the sick bay. Will we pick up on the dark figure set to haunt this area?
Do you know what I just think I've seen?
What?
It's just really weird. I've just seen... Sounds stupid, this sounds stupid. I've just seen a little, black figure just What, right past then?
Really?
It was really black. Really black.
Alright, where did you see it, Kath?
It just went right over past me here, and thought it was your shadow. I thought it was your shadow at first.
Well, there's obviously somebody here with us now, so let's just call out. Whoever you are, come out of the shadows. Perhaps you can throw something. Make a noise, please. I'm calling out to any of the spirits that might be with us now. We don't mean you any harm. Did you hear that?
I'm really freaked out.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
To the left of you, there was...
Yvette, it's Carl, can you hear me?
My ears are just coming round after the screaming that everybody, including Chris Burton, has just put me through.
Behind.
What? Behind what?
The sound, no, the noise.
Basically, my walkie-talkie made a strange noise, but before that, I left my the finger on the walkie-talkie so you could hear. I don't know if you were hearing any of it, but Kath has just seen a black shadow.
Calm down.
There's something going on there.
know that Patrick is saying there is something in there with you and has been for some time.
Can you see, is it malevolent?
Okay, we're hearing it. We've just heard this like a squeak of a trolley just round here. Come on, we've got to go.
Hello? Hello?
What was that? Something was thrown at us.
Oh, wait a minute, something was. What is it?
What was that? Shower of glass.
It was because there's small...
Shards of it.
Oh, look. Shards of glass on the floor. I wonder where that's from.
Oh, yeah, it's twinkling.
It appears we're being followed by a malevolent spirit who seems keen to cause us injury. What more will we discover as we further explore this tense location?
Whoa.
Our investigation of the Kelvedon Hatch nuclear bunker has already seen the team stalked by phantoms and terrorised by poltergeist activity. With the CCTV cameras set up to monitor the night's investigation, it's now time for Carl, Kieran, Patrick and Stuart to explore the male bunk, while the rest of us monitor from the hub.
I have to say that when I first came in here I felt quite claustrophobic, even though it's quite... I know it's dark, and it's difficult to get your eyes accustomed to the light because I'm looking into the camera thing, so I can't... It's light there, so every time I look up it's really dark. But it feels like there's lots of people. You know, like where you are, roughly work out where you are because I can see sort of shadows. But it kind of feels like there's lots of people and you want to almost do that. And it's kind of a bit off-putting.
People standing around you.
Yeah, but you know, I know there's beds in here, and even though I can't see them all, and so I know they're here. So it makes you kind of a bit. And
Cool.
What was that?
Did you hear that?
That's coming from there, isn't it?
It's the cabinet.
It's the cabinet again.
What direction would you say that
was the cabinet.
Yeah, it's right here.
It's definitely coming from there.
I thought it was
And Carl and
going
I
through
heard
there.
it here.
Okay. Shall me and Kieran go
Well,
through there, Carl?
Yeah, you go through there. We'll see. We'll stay here.
Well, is there any filing cabinets in here? Because that's what it sounds like, Kieran, doesn't it? There is. Okay. Whereabouts, Kieran?
It was definitely from here.
To them settle down here and... If someone's here, make the cabinet knock. Carl, it's right behind you. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard. I'm seeing knockings.
You weren't moving.
No, I'm deadly still.
It was like somebody standing right behind you.
Carl?
Yes.
We can't... That knocking you're hearing, me and Kieran can't hear that in here.
You can't hear it in there?
No.
Not at all.
Nope. What the hell is that? That glass at the end on that door, is that see-through? Right, okay. Well, someone's just gone by that glass. On the opposite side, as though someone's walked by.
It's freaking me out, this place.
Due to the vastness of the bunker, I decide to split the team into 3, with Patrick, Kath and myself exploring the lower levels, Carl and Stuart holding a vigil on the floor above, and Kieran, Leslie and cameraman Chris Burton investigating the top level.
If there's anybody here, can you rattle some of the doors or touch one of us on the head or something? Did you hear that? Did you hear that bang? Make that noise again.
Shh. Don't say anything. There's a door somewhere else.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about that.
But that wasn't what we were hearing, was it? It was like tap.
Is anyone here? Any spirit entity?
Somebody's walking, somebody's walking, somebody's walking, somebody's walking there.
This is it. This is where we live.
Hello?
Oh!
Something touched me on the arm, Stu.
I know something touching me around.
Hey?
I know something.
Why? What do you mean you know? You alright, Stu? What's the matter?
I feel like I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna cry?
I
Why?
feel like I'm gonna cry.
Why?
I don't know. I feel so upset, pissed off and angry.
Although we have been assured that all the power in the bunker is switched off, the noise of a tape-recorded voice can be heard throughout the lower level. We are hoping that this might be the first signs that something is willing to communicate with us.
Who's with us now? If you're with us now, please knock 3 times. We don't mean you any harm. Do you wish to talk to us? If you do, tap twice for yes. Yes, okay. Do you mean us harm? Tap twice for yes, once for no. No. Yeah. Yes, okay. Speak it, speak.
He's a higher up person. This was his office.
Oh, okay.
So now we're in his office.
If you're here, please try to show yourself to us. If you're affecting Stuart, can you stop affecting him? If you're making me angry, can you stop making me angry?
This too much for me, Carl. Too, I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to leave, mate, before I do something.
I've had to let Stuart go. I didn't stop him because he's feeling quite aggressive. Oh, that's a door going. He's gone. Because I can't explain what a weird place this is.
Kieran, have you got your temperature thing?
It's dropping.
No, has it gone cold?
Yeah, freezing.
In here, the temperature's gone down.
Yeah.
You look at relative.
Put your left hand out, it's freezing. All right.
Actually, it has gone down.
I mean, quite a bit.
Much?
About 2, almost 3 degrees.
Isn't that quite significant, mate?
No, it is significant.
Get
I mean,
back in the
significant.
toilet.
But we did just hear a door, and I wonder if a door opening could have been a door opening to the outside. Or
There's no
to the rest
outside,
of it.
Kieran. We're 3 floors down.
I tell you what else I've got. Something like
No,
that.
we are on a level that opens out to the outside.
No, we're
On
not.
this level.
We're not going to the
Out the
outside.
back. Yeah, we're not down.
Can you tell me, do you feel like something's touching your hair all the time?
No.
I didn't.
Do you know what it feels like? We're in stand-up coffins, doesn't it?
No, I'm in a toilet.
Yeah, but I'm prepared to think it feels like a coffin.
That's me moving.
Make a noise again, please. It's going colder.
It is going colder, Kieran. Is it still dropping?
Ever so slightly.
There you are. It's going colder. Kieran,
I mean, it
that's...
feels colder in here because we're actually in these cubicles, and to be honest, they are colder in here.
But my arm on the left-hand side, your right, is going almost numb.
Did you take a reading in here before? Has it dropped 2 or 3 since we've been in here?
Yeah. I only had
Well-
one very, very briefly.
Surely that's significant.
Yes, it is. It is significant.
But is it significant enough for us to say this is really odd?
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
the
I see.
drop in temperature, to say it's significant is enough to warrant further investigation. All I'm saying is this a natural, significant drop in temperature that could have been caused by another?
What are you doing?
Or is there a suggestion effect? I know it's colder in here, just because there's less air movement in this area.
Can you do something else, sir, for us in this room? Perhaps you can... Can you throw something? Can you make this television come on? Are you still here, sir?
Make a knock, please.
What's that noise? Did you hear that? Yes, twice. Twice. Like a... Yes.
The smell just changed in here.
It's not. Yes, it has. From bad. From bad.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry. Do you know if you're sorry? I'm not psychic at all. I think we need to get out of this room for some bizarre reason.
Should we stay there?
No, I think we need to go. I don't know why I'm not scared. I've just got this horrible feeling that whatever's in here is not nice at all. And we should leave. Hopefully feeling around the legs. Yeah, no, I really
Make sure it's okay. When she gets sick.
Did you go out chair there?
Look, okay. Was that chair there? But we were standing right there.
I don't think that chair was there.
That chair wasn't there. Right, come off.
Let's go, let's go.
We were standing here. We sat there.
I'm starting to feel sick. You're joking me.
No.
Hello? Oh! Hello? I've just heard a voice as well. Hello? If you're there, can you make another sound? I'm hearing walking. What the? Ah! Oh! Me.
Oh, you okay? You okay? Okay? You're right.
It's very weird.
You're right. There's some. I'm not psychic at all, Patrick. But I'm honest to God.
Knocking. Wait.
very odd.
Listen.
What is going on?
Oh, that's stupid. Something just touched me then. I can't. Hello? Where are you? You. How are you feeling?
Mate, after that. I just had to go back to the green room, mate, and get a drink.
I've got to get out.
You look frustrated.
I've got to get
What's
out.
going on?
We seem to be experiencing a multitude of paranormal occurrences, with temperature fluctuations, doors locking, and Stuart feeling bizarre emotional effects. What more will we uncover as the night continues?
Oh, whoa.
No.
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 Welcome back to Most Haunted. Our exploration of the Kelvedon Hatch nuclear bunker is proving to be a chilling underground experience. With lower levels providing us with the most overwhelming evidence of paranormal activity, we continue to monitor the rest of the bunker while Carl, Stuart and Chris venture back into the depths in the hope that they will combine their energies to provoke the spirits.
Me.
And shadows get you.
Whoa! Whoa! What the?
That's screwed down, Chris.
Does that just come off?
That's just flown.
That just flew off.
That's screwed down, that.
That's just come off.
That, yeah. There's no way around.
Oh, that's screwed down. That's still screwed there.
There's no way that can come off.
Whoa! Whoa! What the? Whoa! Whoa! What the?
Right, okay. If that was you that threw that piece of plastic off our camera, could you please throw something else for us?
Do you know what? I'm not just saying this because you've got your back to that door, but it's almost like I'm expecting someone to come through it because it's like there's somebody in that room waiting to come in.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
No.
No. No.
No.
No, it's got to be shadows.
No, that.
Shadows of what? No. There's got to be light source of shadows. That was. Are you? What did you see?
I saw a figure. In the distance, in that doorway, just round the side. Yeah. Well, it was just round the side there.
Ow.
That's got that.
I thought it was looking around the corner there. Joe, I'm not.
You go and have a look.
I'm not. You can't have.
Both go and have a look at it then.
Come on, mate.
Turn the dimmer up, Chris.
That's right up that.
Right, okay.
There's nothing there.
I'm sorry.
Or something there.
Someone stuck his head through the.
It feels like something is behind us all the time. We're over here now, and something's like back there.
I know.
Whoa! Oh, Stu!
Come on. There's something. Sorry, guys. There was something in that. There was something standing in that. I'm sorry, I ran out of that.
What was it?
What made that come on?
I don't
Is that on
know.
the card?
Yeah.
Everything's off. Even that, you know, the stuff that's in there should all be off. All the power's off.
Again, what sounds like the taped voice we were hearing in the lower levels before has startled us. We continued to investigate the location until sunrise, but there was little more significant phenomena to report. Pleased by the high levels of activity we had witnessed throughout the rest of the night, I'm keen for Dr. Kieran O'Keefe to make sense of all that we have undergone.
Kelvedon Bunker was an unusual location for most haunted to investigate. I think one of the most significant areas of the bunker was the surgeon area, or the medical area. It was here on a vigil where a number of the crew heard footsteps, as if somebody was running out of that area, off into the corridor, maybe even down the steps. It happened all very, very quickly, but Carl ran out as if to chase the person to find out who it was. There was nobody there.
What the hell is that? That glass at the end on that door, is that see-through? Right, okay. Well, someone has just gone by that glass. On the opposite side, as though someone's walked by.
Now, the difficulty is our interpretation of the footsteps. Is it possible that we are dealing with somebody human that was walking around or running around outside of the medical area, and they had indeed gone by the time we got there? There is a clue, however, to the fact that we might be dealing with something not normal, but indeed paranormal. And that clue is not hearing a door close. Any of the exit doors from the stairwell area were on a hinge and also caused a loud bang if they were just left to close.
Which way did they go, Stu?
All in all, Most Haunted's investigation of Kelvedon Bunker was a fascinating one. Certain members of the crew experienced some unusual phenomena. Certainly we seem to get some very different phenomena compared to other locations. All in all, are we dealing with somewhere that's paranormal? It would be arrogant of me to say that it's haunted or it's not haunted. However, I think we have some very good, viable, normal explanations for most of the phenomena.
The perpetual darkness of the bunker had provided us with a disorientating experience that will stay with us for some time. It is clear to us that something remains here, desperate to be released from its underground incarceration. Where next will our journey into the paranormal lead us? Until next time, sleep tight.